welcome. This is the Midday News. A final year carpentry student at the Midday Technical College was stabbed to death last night, allegedly by youths of Govstore and DCA compound. The deceased is from East New Britain and was scheduled to fly out for holidays on Sunday when he met his fate. His body is now at the morgue as police work to apprehend the suspects. A community fed up of the crime took it on themselves to apprehend 2 suspects and handed over to police overnight. This is a developing story, and a more detailed story will be aired on our main bulletin at 6 p.m. Papua New Guinea Nurses Association has signed an MOU with the Life Corporation PNG to ensure its 4,000 members are insured. The MOU was signed today in Port Moresby at the Insurance Romana building in Hohola. It is the second time PNG is engaging the PNL NTI to be their insurance provider, having been the pioneer clients of the PNG Life Corporation until 3 years ago.
The signing revives a previous partnership they had until 3 years ago when PNG Nurses Association chose a different insurance provider. According to the Group CEO of National Teachers Insurance Limited and Life Insurance Corporation PNG Limited, Sanjeev Bhattacharjee, PNG-NA were the pioneer members clients with LIC PNG and were together for 15 years until the last 3 years.
PNG Nurses Association, they were associated when we started our company. So they are the client with the pioneer client when we started our company. So last the 15 years they were with us, only for 3 years they went to somewhere else, and now they are coming back, and I thank the total team for this faith and trust on us.
Life Insurance Corporation PNG Limited will provide automatic life coverage of up to 40,000 kina per member and 80,000 kina family medical coverage per year. It will also provide another 80,000 kina per member in case of emergency evacuation.
And on the 10th of November, we have resoluted, and that is how we have now implemented the NDC resolution by signing the MOU with NTI Health for a total package.
The signing of the MOU comes after a resolution by PNG Nurses Association at the last National Congress. They are now urging all members to immediately transfer their premium payment from the last insurance provider to the current.
We've been with them for several years, and we've been PNG has been one of the first clients. I'm thankful, and I'd like to tell the members out there that we have a cover that is better than what we had in the past.
All registered members of the PNG Nurses Association have been awarded a fortnightly insurance premium of 75 kina from the national government. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
The Immigration and Citizenship Authority today soft launched their sponsor portal. The sponsor portal is a new tool that the ICSA is introducing to allow businesses who bring in foreign skilled workers to use this portal to apply for work permits and work visas. This tool will allow users to apply for work permit and work visa using one form, and HR officers can apply at the comfort of their office instead of queuing up at the counters. At least 300 boarding students were evicted from the CocaCola Business College on Monday, the 20th of November, following a fight among students on Thursday, the 16th of November. The community around the CocaCola Business College has come to their aid to accommodate and feed them, as most of these students do not have relatives in East New Britain province. Ulagunan Ward member Darius Milson said the school administration made the decision to remove all the male students after only a handful of intoxicated students fought amongst themselves, were disorderly and allegedly destroyed school properties after their examination. Police and security guards were called in to protect the school properties. The Public Accounts Committee report on the inquiry into the temporary cessation of the Nadzab and Kiunga airports were presented in Parliament yesterday. The inquiry identified 12 non-compliance issues at these airports: no runway, friction testing equipment, lack of fit and proper person certification, lack of daily periodic aerodrome inspection, and CASA and NAKIA offices located out of the aerodrome were among some issues identified. Recommendations were made to look into these issues. 2 overseas Victorian school students have walked out of their classrooms in support of the people of Gaza.
Walking out of the classroom and into a highly charged political debate.
There are schools being bombed actively in Gaza, and those students can't learn, so why should we? What's happening in the world right now is really important for young people to understand and for us to have a voice and spread the word that this is not right.
Free, free Palestine!
Around 500 Victorian students taking to Melbourne's CBD, calling for an end to the Israel-Gaza conflict.
People have left school en masse to say that business as usual cannot continue.
Parents joining their children in protest.
I just want to show my kids how lucky they are.
Protesters marched down Swanston Street, stopping traffic at several major intersections before entering Melbourne Central.
Students were told today is just another day and to stay in the classroom. But these protesters are demanding their voices be heard.
School is important, but I think there's a lot of other important things in the world, and those things need to be supported and shown.
The federal opposition and some Jewish Australians had called for the rally to be stopped amid what they say is a rise in anti-Semitism.
I don't feel like it's an appropriate use of their time. They should be in school learning and educating themselves.
There's something very wrong in this country when children are being weaponized, brainwashed and exploited to promote a dangerous and divisive agenda.
The Greens insist today's protest was about promoting a peaceful resolution to the conflict.
There's no place for anti-Semitism or Islamophobia in Australia. People are marching for peace. People want to see an end to the bloodshed, but also see everyone's rights respected here at home.
It's not a Muslim thing, it's a human thing. Everyone should take a stand and try to make a change.
Radio in Australia celebrated 100 years yesterday. Australia's first radio station began 100 years ago as 2SB, known as ABC Radio.
It started with a hit from the past and a nod to the present. The power of radio taking centre stage at a special broadcast.
In a world where we work remotely, where there's a lot of lonely people, radio is a voice, it's a human connection.
The role that the ABC plays in giving emergency advice during the bushfires, whenever there's a crisis, it's a national asset.
Australia now has more than 750 radio stations, but it started here. ABC Sydney began as 2SB and later 2BL.
You'll hear the best of everything from station to BL.
Radio has come a long way, with podcasting and streaming now exploding. The very first broadcast was of a gala concert, and it quickly evolved into a must-listen medium. Families would gather around to be entertained and informed about news, politics, and of course, sport. In those earliest days, cricket couldn't be broadcast live, requiring creativity and sound effects.
It's a short ball, Brabham moves back and pulls fiercely past square leg.
Later, it was gripping dramas that took hold of imaginations.
And a lot of the serials that were produced were actually sold overseas, which is quite surprising. We're talking the 1930s, 40s and 50s.
Throughout decades of change, radio's heart and rivalries remain.
We have the best pictures, not you on television, but we on radio, because of course the listener makes them in their own mind, right?
29 minutes past 3.
100 years on, radio is still providing that crucial connection.
Back home in sports, Hebel Constructions have thrown their support behind Team NCD with the sponsorship of 350,000 kina towards the team's preparations and participation at next year's 8th PNG Games. Hebo now becomes the naming rights sponsor to Team NCD. An official check presentation took place yesterday at the Hebo head office, 6 Mile, Port Moresby, officiated by Hebo's General Manager Jamie Mitchell and NCDC Director Social and Community Services Janet Hauer. The Games, scheduled for January 10 to January 20, 2024, and co-hosted by NCD and Central Province.
On behalf of Sir George Constantino and Hebo Group, General Manager Jamie Mitchell officiated the check presentation today to support Team NCD in the upcoming PNG Games in Port Moresby. The GM said Hebo is proud to come on board and support Team NCD and wish them a successful Games. On behalf of NCD Governor and patron of Team NCD, Powis Parkop, NCDC Director Social and Community Services Janet Hauer sincerely thanked Hebo Constructions for such a timely and much-needed sponsorship backing. Due to the current Pacific Games, the much-deferred PNG Games has again been rescheduled for the 10th to the 20th of January 2024 in Port Moresby. The investment on Team NCD under Governor Parkop as NCD won the 2009 and 2012 PNG Games, let alone dominated the national team to the Arafura Games in 2019 and 2011. The investment on Team NCD under Governor Parkop has seen NCD won the 2009 and 2012 PNG Games, let alone dominated the national team for the Arafura Games in 2009 and 2011. It also contributed largely to the Team PNG for the Mini Games in 2013, the Pacific Games in 2015, the Mini Games in 2017, the Pacific Games in 2019, and again the Mini Games in 2022. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the news update. Join us at 6 for more.